And we're just going to go live, just go preview over here on the iPad and wait until we can go live. And shouldn't be a second or two, all things being equal. Hope that everything is working. It is, yes, good. Okay, so Amazon Live on the iPad is now live. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Facebook. So thank you for joining me. You're watching Stephen live from wonderful Wiltshire, England, and this is an experimental broadcast. Early this year, in fact in January, I started to investigate two products. Google Gemini and Google NotebookLM. And I wanted to know, could you actually use them to create content? And the answer is yes, you can. Hence, today's show, which is about Barnaby and Burnley. Now, if you don't know about Barnaby, Barnaby is a turtle. He is the star of a new ebook by myself and Angelika, and is available on Kindle and by a PDF as well. And the links are actually in the OP. And if you want to take a look, please do click either of the links. If you're watching on Amazon, I'm highlighting Barnaby's book down in the carousel, and you can buy the book on Amazon Kindle. So that's the marketing side out of the way. But the thing is that I've so enjoyed using a combination of Google Gemini and NotebookLM. NotebookLM has come on leaps and bounds since I started using it, and lots of things you can do. And the first thing I wanted to do is I'm going to tell the stories of the towns in the UK which mean something to me. And the first one of those is Burnley. Burnley is in Lancashire. It's in the north of England. It's about 20 miles north of Manchester, and it's where I came from, and where I go back to occasionally, but that's where everything began. And I used a combination of Gemini and NotebookLM to create, well, what I'm going to show you now, really. So without further ado, I'm going to take myself off full screen, and you'll see that behind me is the content. This entire screen of content that you're looking at now was created using Gemini and NotebookLM with guidance. Now, AI is wonderful, but AI needs work and it needs to be used effectively, and you have to learn how to use it. If you don't control it, it will do its own thing. You have to know how to control it. So what we're going to look at is the echoes of the past and a vision for the future, and discover Burnley in Lancashire. And I can do that with the use of the graphics from NotebookLM. Okay, Burnley is a beautiful part of the world. In the background, you can see Pendle Hill, and we used to climb Pendle Hill every Good Friday. And it's, well, every Easter in actual fact. We used to go and we used to walk from where we lived, which was Burnley and Nelson. I used to walk to that hill. I then used to climb the hill, and having got to the top of the hill, we had a good look round and then came back down again. And it is, Burnley's story is a story of grit, granite and green, because if we carry on our story, 80% of the area of Burnley is rural, and there's Pendle Hill I mentioned a moment ago. And great audio today. Thank you, Skip. Yeah, we should be better today. I think I've got sussed out how to do this. So let's go here. And Skip, welcome. Skip is saying great audio today. Thank you. Right, I think we've got rid of the gremlins. Okay, so Burnley itself is 20 miles north of Manchester in England, and 21 miles, I'll stand corrected. I've learned a lot doing this. I thought I knew all about my hometown. I don't. And I've learned basically a great deal about my hometown was here around, well, it was created around the time of the Domesday Book. Okay, so let's just go through. And these graphics, as I say, are actually created using NotebookLM. These are original graphics, and you see the bottom right-hand corner of every screen is NotebookLM. NotebookLM, there is a free version, there is a paid version. If you pay, then you can do everything that I'm talking about now. Paying, you're talking about $15 a month to be able to do what I'm showing you now. This is a sculpture, which is basically, and I'm reading here, a wind-powered sculpture on the Pennine Moors, and it turns the wind into a beautiful song using galvanized steel pipes. And if you're actually stood near to it, you get a panoramic view of the whole of East Lancashire. So it's the Burnley Way, and I'm fascinated by this. The Burnley Way is a 40-mile walk around Burnley, and we may well do that one day. Take a trip up north. I'll tell you more about that later. Circular route that goes all around the borough. Jewel in the Crown. This is basically home to the Townley family, and this is Townley Hall. And I think we're still live. Yeah, I got an error on my screen, but I think we're okay now. If we are having problems on Amazon, my apologies. If you are watching on Facebook and YouTube, hopefully everything's doing well. Thank you for watching me live. You're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. We're talking about Barnaby and Burnley and the use of Google, Gemini, and NotebookLM to create everything you can see here today was created by Google Gemini, NotebookLM, and I conducted the orchestra. I gave it a way to go. So that is Townley Hall. I've been in there many times. I was born in Burnley, and that's where we used to go for long walks. And the hall itself, which was owned by the Townley family, is to be experienced because it's got artifacts from all around Lancashire. They did the Grand Tour as well, so there are articles from the 16th and 17th century. There's also a priest hiding hole in there, and it's a dungeon. It has a dungeon. I've been down the dungeon, but they actually let me back up again, which is good news. Okay, and this is basically Gawthorpe Hall, which is in Padiham. Actually, it's on the boundary between Burnley and Padiham. Gawthorpe Hall, and if you're a fan of the Bronte sisters, then Charlotte Bronte used to take pleasure in visiting Gawthorpe Hall. We can visit it too. It's open to the public, and it has rooms which are set in the 17th and 18th centuries, and you can just walk around. Okay, I hope you're getting a flavour of how green this is, but it's also basically, this is the Weaver's Triangle. It's a Victorian industrial landscape. It's one of the finest surviving ones because the whole stretch of the canal has been untouched. And Burnley was known for cotton. Cotton used to come in from the USA, and the mills here turned it into garments. And in fact, at one time, there were 99,000 looms in Burnley. That's not an exaggeration. There are mills and weaving sheds all around the Burnley area, and we'll see another one shortly. And this is all on the walking tour. So you'd see all this if you went round for a walk. Now, incredibly, the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, which actually runs from Leeds in Yorkshire to Liverpool in Lancashire, on the edge of Lancashire. This is part of the canal, part of the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, and this is a 1 mile stretch of the canal, which is perfectly straight. It was built between 1796 and 1801, and it was to carry the goods for the cotton trade, because obviously you've got the ships coming in from Liverpool. The contents of the ships are offloaded. They then go by barge, or went by barge, on the canal to Burnley, to the weaving sheds, and then the return journey, the canal was used to actually send the goods to market. Now, this is basically Queen Street Mill, and this is a working weaving shed. There used to be weaving sheds all around Nelson. The canal meant you could have water wheels. Water wheels were able to power steam engines, and therefore industry started in northeast Lancashire. This is where it all began, in northeast Lancashire, Manchester, the looms. And this picture here is actually a Queen Street Mill, which is in Harlesike, which is a district of Burnley. And it still works. You can go there. There are guest facilities, and you can dine there, and you can actually have a tour of Queen Street Mill, and you can see, not all of them, but you can see some of the looms actually working, and you can learn about warp and weft, and you can see cloth being made. And it says a cathedral. This that you can see now is very special to everybody who lives in Burnley. And I was born in Burnley. I lived in Burnley for 46 years. And this is Turf Moor. This is the home of Burnley Football Club. Burnley Football Club are currently in the Premiership, and they play against Liverpool and Everton and Arsenal and Crystal Palace, Chelsea. The town is a population of 73,000 or nearly 80,000. They don't have any money, not like the big clubs, but they are able to play in the Premiership for another 13 weeks at least. So it has been. I mean, Burnley were one of the original members of the Football League. The first ever Football League was formed by 12 teams. And it was a mixture of university teams from Oxford and Cambridge, and basically the owners of the mills around Burnley, Accrington, Blackburn sponsored their own teams. So you had basically mill teams playing against university teams, and it did become the Football League. And that's the early days of the Premiership, and Burnley were one of the original 12 teams, which we are overtly proud of. Okay, now we're here today to talk about Barnaby's Perfect Book, which is down the carousel, and we'll come to that in a moment. Burnley is set in the countryside. It's surrounded by countryside. It's got a canal which you can go out on. It's got a motorway, and we'll get to that in a moment. But it used to be you got the cotton mills, and then you had the mines. And the mines, you never know when you walk around Burnley whether there's a mine underneath you, mining coal. And the coal was used by industry and, of course, by people too. And now you can see that the coal mine has gone and it's all been greened over. Mary Townley, I showed you a few moments ago Townley Hall in Burnley. And Mary Townley was one of the Townleys, and they have created a cycle/horse route of 47 miles around the area. So it's a bridle way and a cycle path. It is, as I said, set in the countryside. So it is a union of cotton and countryside. It is at once an industrial area and an area of great beauty. And if I can go to the next slide. Okay, it's 21 miles north of Manchester. It's got its own stations. You can get the train to Manchester, and it takes 55 minutes. And it's great for heritage, hikers, football fans, and seekers of the authentic North. If you want the best fish and chips, go to Burnley. If you want black puddings, go to Burnley. It is just a great place to visit. Now, that's basically, as I say, this was created using Google Gemini and NotebookLM, and I will actually tell you how to do it so you can do it for your hometown, because this is what Google Gemini and Notebook are capable of. It did the PDF. I'm showing you at the top of the screen is a PDF, and I've just flicked through the PDF, and I've been from beginning to end, and we'll go back to the beginning again. So this PDF was created by NotebookLM with guidance from me. Let's go over here. Okay, and this is basically, as we've been going, Burnley is 1,000 years old, and the Romans were there, so that's why you've got the Roman helmet. It is just simply the Industrial Revolution took place along the canal from 1750 to 1850. You can see the canal, the roots of industry, the canal winding through the town, the train winding through the town. It was the cotton capital of England, and power looms came into being in 1910, 99,000 of them. Burnley Football Club, we've spoken about, and below that you can see the town hall, and on the right-hand side you have, well, let's just go over here and go again, and just let me move this over. So let's have a separate view of Burnley, an alternative view. Again, this is by NotebookLM. I'll tell you now, and I'll tell you firmly, I don't want to go back to Burnley. Well, that's by John Cooper Clarke, who is a poet, or was a poet. 80% of the area is rural, and it's 21 miles to Manchester. That's important. Okay, that's basically the area, and you can see the motorway, the M65 through there. You can see the railways, and the railway, I can't point to it. I wish I could point to it. Perhaps one day I'll be able to use pointers on screen. But that's the map of the motorway and the railway, which go through the town, which actually give it access to other parts of the country. And the canal. Don't forget the canal. 3 ways to travel: canal, roadway, and railway. 1750s, water power. That's why it was built on the River Calder and on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal 50 years later. It was the weaving capital of the world, and 99,000 looms at one point. That's all gone, but there is the Weaver's Triangle, which you can go and see, and you can see how it was. Everything changes. Basically, the houses, 65% owner occupied. We have gone from looms to the digital frontier. We've got, basically, we're now aerospace and electrical industries. There's a university in Burnley, which is part of the University of Central Lancashire, and that educates 14 to 19-year-olds. It is a town literally within the countryside. It's surrounded by moorland and agricultural land and woodland. And the blue infrastructure, it's got the Straight Mile, we spoke about that earlier. It's got the River Brun and Calder, and it's got 2 reservoirs, one at Clowbridge and one at Hurstbridge. And you can sail and windsurf on both of those, both within easy reach of Burnley. Burnley FC in the Premier League, addressing basically at the moment, healthy weight is a strategy, and access to the bridleways is the solution. Going out and about. This is the Weaver's Triangle, and we've spoken about it several times now. And planning for growth. Everything changes. If I go back now, I wouldn't recognise half the town, but it is basically, it is, as far as the countryside is concerned, it's a beautiful place to live. 55 minutes from Manchester. It has the sport and it's got the lifestyle. And I'm just going to go through here. And Burnley is real character and a real opportunity. Now, if I go over here, we can finish off the Burnley section with this graphic. All the graphics and images that I'm showing you were created by Gemini and NotebookLM. Let's just put that on screen. Everything I'm showing you is by Gemini and NotebookLM. Okay, so you can go to Queen Street Mill. We saw a picture of that earlier. Townley Hall, which is an art gallery. You've got the Weaver's Triangle and the preservation of everything from the Cotton era. You've got the Singing Tree. You've got the Burnley Way, which goes all the way around, and you've got the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. So it's a mix, and it's a brilliant, beautiful place to actually visit. It is Burnley in Lancashire. It says Discover Burnley, and it is a beautiful place. But now I have to say that I am grateful to all that I've just shown you in the previous 20 minutes. I directed it, but it was created using Google Gemini and NotebookLM. I wanted to know the history of my own town. I've learned a lot because in addition to the images that I've shown you, there's a ream of text that I will read at my leisure this weekend. So if you're looking to research your hometown or any town in the world, you just first of all go to Gemini. And this is what I did. This is exactly what I did. Is to go to Gemini, and I said to Gemini, tell me about Burnley. And Gemini came back with text about Burnley. I then took that text to NotebookLM and saved it. Then I looked on YouTube and I found a couple of videos about Burnley, and I told NotebookLM about the videos. So what I've done is I've established the topic I'm interested in. That's the beginning. So set of text from Gemini and videos from YouTube to set the scene. Having set the scene, I can then ask NotebookLM to go and do some deep research. And I said, please look at the arts, leisure, and industrial and transport aspects of Burnley. And it did. It did all its work. And it came back with 50 documents which covered everything that we need to know about Burnley. Then, because I've been able to show you in a graphical form 2 PDFs and images created from the information that we all put together, and it helps you to tell a story. So I'm going to document this because actually just spending 2 minutes telling you is not the thing. I'm going to document exactly what I did. I'm going to be back next Friday, and next Friday we will be visiting Stratford-upon-Avon, the home of William Shakespeare. And it's somewhere where I lived for 11 years, so I know quite a bit about it. So next week's main topic is Stratford-upon-Avon. Now, I'm going to bring some items in, because down in the carousel is, and I just need to go over here for a minute, and just forgive me for a second. I'm going to bring these on screen. Okay, and I'm not sure how many of these I've got. I certainly got everything from Burnley. So what's this? I just want to have a look at what this is. Just bear with me. We're actually building a set. So, that's unlocking your confidence. Okay, and I've got a comment from Skip. I'm going to come to that in a minute. I'm just trying to find something, Skip. And no, not that. I don't want that. Just a second. I'll go to, while I'm thinking about this, I will go to switch my mic off.
Hello, my name is Barnaby. Thank you for joining my adventure. It's good to have you here. Together, we will journey as we make the most perfect broth you've ever tasted. Let's get started.
Angelika and I wanted to create something new and exciting for language learners. Oh, and for everybody in actual fact. It is Barnaby's Perfect Broth, a tale of slowness in a fast world. And we invite you to take a look. The link is at the end of this video. We just enjoyed making it. It is for German language learners from beginners to intermediate to advanced. It's available now and it's been a blast. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Barnaby. Thank you for joining my adventure. It's good to have you here. Together...
Gotta stop him. He's taking over. Right, okay, over to Skip. Are you Fridays now instead of Tuesdays? Now, as you know, Skip, on Tuesday I had a bit of a problem. So I will be back on Tuesday next week, 10:10. It's just I wanted to try this out. Yeah. So either you're going to get Burnley again, or you're actually going to get Stratford-upon-Avon. I'm trying to get Stratford. Yeah, and so that's the first question. Not to change the topic, but I've just bought Angelika's book. Thank you. I thank you. Angelika thanks you, and Barnaby will thank you. Enjoy the book, and thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. You're going to make Angelika's day, I'll tell you. And yep, differently, human live cast, not an AI generated podcast. I'm real. I am totally real. Skip knows I'm real. We've known each other since the days of Empire Avenue, which was the most wonderful game you've ever played. Okay, so I'm going to take that down because that's not working. So let's hide that. Okay, and next week, what I'm going to do is I did have the PDF in my studio, and I was going to show you the PDF of the book. Right, okay, Skip would like an autograph. I'll arrange that for you, Skip. In actual fact, I will do that as soon as we've finished here. Now, let me go here. Wait a minute. Now we're talking. Just a second. Right, okay, now we're talking. Now I can do what I was going to do. And I'm going to go back a page. And we're going to go back to here. What we're talking about now is, can she sign my Kindle version? We'll work something out. We'll probably either send you the PDF as well, Skip. That's probably the best way. So you'll get the PDF as well. Okay? So that basically we can autograph a PDF. So we'll do that. Thank you for purchasing the book and enjoy. Okay. And all right, that worked. The links are working. Oh, that's good. Cool. You're welcome. Okay. Now, basically, this is the PDF version of the book, and it is available on Angelika's site, and the links are actually in. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, links are in the text. But this is the book. Now, the first thing about this book, I'll show you how it works. This is for beginners. It says 1 at the top. That's level 1. So let's just go to the next page. And the next page says Barnaby ist eine Schildkröte. So it's German's at the top of the page. The English translation is at the bottom of the page. You've got the graphic, and you can see from the graphic that Barnaby is a turtle, and he's a genial turtle. He lives in a world which is slower than ours, and the graphics throughout the book are just, well, I'll leave you to decide. But if we go on to the next page, okay, and this is the whole essence of the story. Barnaby kocht Suppe, and Barnaby cooks a soup, and that is the story. And you've got the English text and the German text on the same page. Now, the thing about this is, I'm going to swap over now. The thing about this is, that we've got 3 levels of German. Everything's just woken up. We've got 3 levels of German. If you beginning German, level 1 is for you. If you know some German, intermediate level 2 is for you. And if your German is advanced, then you can do level 3. Now, as I sit here now, Angelika is actually producing a teacher's version of the book. And the teacher's version has no translations in, because the teacher is going to do the translation, and the teacher is going to use the book to actually teach a class of German students. So hopefully through all that we've got it covered. I've given you a flavour of what Barnaby is, and a hint as to how he was actually created. We have a second story, but at the moment it took a month to create the book, which I think for a book which is so much in it. Yeah, it is a German language learning book. It's also a beautiful graphic story, and the storyline, everything is a team effort. And this is the first time that Angelika and I worked on something together and created something. We do obviously Ask Angelika, which we recorded earlier today, but this is the first time we've written a book together, and we've already designed the second time. In fact, this is going to become a series of books, and we are most grateful to everybody who actually buys the book. And I just want to say, this was a broadcast. The idea for this came to me this morning. Yeah. And I thought, how can I do this? Because I researched Burnley yesterday, and I thought, well, how can I do this? You remember Burnley, don't you? Just a minute, let's go over here. And no worries. I can do that next time. Basically, we've had great fun doing it, Angelika and I, and we're going to do more books, and we enjoy broadcasting. And as Skip knows, when we tried to broadcast on Tuesday at 10:10, and we're live next Tuesday at 10:10, or at least I'm live at Tuesday next 10:10. In fact, we've come up with a novel solution. Skip, what we're actually going to do is going to sit side by side in the same office using one microphone. Let's hope it works. We can but try. I want to say a big thank you, especially to Skip and to everybody who's watched this live broadcast today. You've been watching the author of Barnaby the Turtle, or Barnaby's Perfect Soup, and it's been cool to be here. And I want to say thank you. Take care. Enjoy the weekend, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks. Wonderful. That's a wrap, by the way. Cheers.